by the fact that now I was at a point where I had nowhere else to turn. And I did understand that something has to change. And that internal work just started happening.
Welcome back, guys, to DUOL podcast. And this is a podcast where conversations happen, real people talk, restoration, growth, and healing begins. So this is part 2 of the first session we had on identity crisis in a young man. And this presentation is actually falls under the umbrella of men's mental health. So please stick with us. Alexander, you can reintroduce yourself, but
No problem.
just reintroduce yourself for those who are seeing us for the first time.
So hi guys, it's my pleasure to be back. I'm really privileged for this chance. I am in recovery, and I felt that this is an important topic to talk about, because these are things that happen in the shadows of our society, and they never quite get brought out into the light.
Into the light, yeah. I'm Auntie Maggie. And so, just to recap a bit, last time you told us how you went through an identity crisis, yeah, which was real, because you mentioned that your mother was single and very busy and hardly there. Then you mentioned that your grandfather is the one who raised you, who tried his level best, but then, he passed away at some point. Yeah. Then you mentioned that you ended up not really having, over-sheltered life, but no proper upbringing as such in terms of direction, in terms of your life in general.
Yeah.
And you felt you lost your identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say that it was perhaps an interesting turn, because as you've mentioned, there was that aspect of being sheltered from the immediate hardships of life. But then also at the same time, there was this sense of now being at a place where I did not have much I could identify with, because now what I knew was that perhaps I would be good at books.
Yeah.
And I knew that I loved reading.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time now, I think I was trying to figure out my identity from an outward perspective, because now of my lack of siblings, my mom was busy at work.
Too busy trying to support you.
Yes, trying to make a better life for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that all of it, while it came together, it was just an interesting mix of unfortunate circumstances.
Then I remember you talking about managing to get to the university and the issues.
In fact, that's now where we had gotten to in our previous talk, where now I'd gotten to university, and then now I'd found myself getting in with the crowd that was using drugs. And then now in my stay at university, it began just as a fun time, pastime thing, and then it accelerated over time. And now it comes to a part now where it kind of takes over my life. Yes.
So you started, the minute you hit university, you just started taking drugs, or how was it introduced?
That's even, in fact, it's an interesting thing, because these things happen very progressively, but very slowly.
Gradually.
It's a gradual progression. If someone doesn't watch out, that's where all the problems begin. Because my use began as a fun pastime, maybe during the weekends. And then at some point it got, maybe we can go maybe once a week. Every weekend. It stopped now being just occasional weekends. And then now,
so as it progressed, only take the drugs in the weekend.
Yes, and then as it progressed, now it became almost a daily thing, and so on and so forth. So it was a gradual progression. And then now also, because of the way the environment was tailored, I had gotten freedom for the first time in my life, so to speak. I do not have the authority figures that have been in my life to kind of guide me. As much as they are there, physically I'm away. So the best that we can do is to conform.
So what I hear you say, Alexander, is that campus, it has a lot of positive things, but that freedom can also be negative. Because some guys just arrive there and say, now I can go party, I can take drugs.
Definitely.
Do you think so?
Definitely, because even as life is as right now as I observe it, I can see that there are a lot of aspects where now parents, they really go through a lot to look for a brighter future for their kids.
Yeah.
And then they decide, let's take these kids of ours to higher learning, tertiary.
They sacrifice.
Yes, they sacrifice. And then now when the kids goes and gets there, you find that perhaps they've just led a calm life. They find new friends, they find new senses. They kind of, the best way I can put it is that they find that their world has opened up all of a sudden.
And sudden without preparation.
Yes, and there's that culture shock now that comes with Jesus. It's like a kid that just came from up country, and then they find themselves in the biggest mall.
Town. They are the biggest mall.
There's everything. And now they wonder, now where do I even start? Do I go to the candy section? Do I go to this section? And so on and so forth. So now I think that is the same way that it usually plays out.
Alexander, I think in some places people prepare their children before they go to campus. Because I know of some parents who say, make sure when you go there, avoid people who take drugs. Make sure you avoid men who are, the ladies will be told about men who are coming to look for young girls and cheat them. Yeah. Did you get any preparation, given that your mom was hardly there, busy?
I'll even put it into perspective. Funny enough, now all through my life, we have, as I mentioned before, we have had a pretty close relationship with my mom. So even some of these topics, we used to discuss them openly. And even now, the people in my life really did used to tell me, hey, when you go over there, watch out for yourself.
Okay.
It's just that one of those, we can be stubborn. Kids, we can be stubborn. Kids can be stubborn.
Nice.
Generally, kids can be stubborn.
Yeah.
So, you can tell the kid something, but when they go out there, it is what
they forget.
They choose what they will take.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can give someone advice, but the advice that you will take is theirs.
So you accept and acknowledge
so me,
part of the mistake is not is you.
I actually fully take responsibility, because I think even now the way my mom has raised me all along, she has raised me as a very obedient kid, properly groomed and everything. But now I think also my stubborn streak was I had a rebellious streak.
Streak.
Where now I felt like I know enough. Why do I need to follow
You knew
advice?
Everything.
Yes. It's that sense of invincibility that youth can sometimes come with.
And so now tell us about your connection, your exposure to the drugs, and how, the journey with the addiction issue.
My exposure with drugs now came
at the university, right?
Yeah. Now at that point in university, because now I had a little bit of cash that I'm being sent to from home. So when I arrange my affairs here and there, I have a bit of something left. So in campus life, I'm sorry to say this, but it is the truth. These things are very readily available because you find clubs all over the place.
So these drugs are actually sold in clubs and in campus itself?
I wouldn't say campus premises, because also they are usually very careful. But you see now the communities that form around campuses.
The campus.
Because every campus creates a microeconomy around it. Yes.
For example?
For example, we find that there's a campus here.
Yeah.
This campus will need facilities for hosteling the students that are
food hostels,
even just basic services, banking,
barbers,
shops. Yes. So you get that there's a sense of a town will develop. In that town, a town has a free access to everyone.
Yeah.
And then you have to understand this is a microeconomy. Money is being injected from outside into this sense of microeconomy, a small isolated economy. So it actually needs the student to thrive.
Yeah.
And they're the ones, the money comes from the parents into the students' pockets, and the students, because they do not understand the hardship of looking for the money, they will not have what's the word? They will not be as hard-hearted removing the money as the parent would.
Okay.
So those microeconomies actually thrive a lot. They're usually very dynamic businesses.
So yeah, and a lot of people exploit that situation, because we hear some big people also exploit situations and supply drugs and Yeah.
In fact, you've hit the nail on the head. That is exactly how it plays out. So you find that people will kind of organize themselves, and then the drugs will be around. They will have, or in whichever means that they will, there will be drugs around.
So you...
Yeah, me personally now, I was a soft target. As I mentioned, I had a lot of naivety growing up. Yes, so now this is a new environment. I'm seeing a lot of shiny new toys in this brand new mall. So now I was on a spree to experiment. So now I dove deep, and then now my drug use has been progressing. So by the time I was getting to third year, now it has really gotten to levels of unmanageability. So now my life now starts unraveling in the fact that now even housing starts creating a problem. I can't quite manage to pay my rent on time. The money that I get.
And this is the money that you get from your mom who was working so hard.
Yes, the money that I get, I kind of managed to squander it here and there. Even now, I've managed to kind of link with now these people who are doing their own businesses of drugs. So I won't lack a little bit of money here and there. From now, activities here and there, just in those microeconomies. So I will have means to perpetuate my drug cycle addiction. So now that's how it works.
And then what happened?
So now
for that you're using drugs.
So now I'd been doing well in school all along. Now come third year, we went for a long holiday again. Now that long holiday, I did not go home. When I remained back at school, now I kind of got into the whole drug life exclusively, because now we are not having classes and my classmates are home.
Okay.
So now it was basically, I got into the party life. Yes, I dove in. It was a nosedive. Yes, so now it was 9 months because it was one of those long holidays.
This was which year? How come the holiday was long?
No, public universities have had that issue for a long time.
Okay.
Yes, for a long time. So because of now hosteling and shortage of resources, they had to send some people home. Then the other ones can come, do their whole year, academic year. Then the other ones will come in rotation. So that's how that played out. Now, by the time these guys are coming back, now we are going to enter fourth year. The university rolled out an ERP, which is a live system for now monitoring everything that concerns the school.
That's monitoring whether students are coming to class.
Everything.
The whether they're not coming to class.
The marks, everything.
This is an app, and is it
I wouldn't call it an app. It's a system. It's a system. Like as an organization-wide system that manages the whole organization, the whole institution.
Okay.
Yes.
So
now how this turns into my story is because now my marks disappeared with that, because now it was a huge exercise, because we are talking about a school that has tens of thousands of students.
Yes.
So it was not an isolated case. There were a lot of marks that were lost. But when now I was told that my marks are missing specifically, how I reacted to it was now where the problem is, because I did not do my due diligence to follow it.
You could have followed and got your marks.
I could have.
Yes.
But now I did not, because I was already in the addiction. I was like, man, what are these guys doing? So I just left it at that. And that is how my campus schooling came to an end.
So you dropped out of campus?
Yes, I dropped out of campus.
Wow. And you had done how many years by then? By the time you dropped out? 3 years?
Yes.
You are remaining how long?
1 year.
Oh. Yeah. Is it possible to go back now? Sometimes. Have you explored the thought of going back?
I have explored the thought. Now, when I think about it, now the time is past gone. Because also we are talking about long time ago. We are talking about 2019 now. We've come all the way up to 2019.
Things you never know. Have you ever thought of it?
It's something that I should.
Because you only had 1 year.
Yes, it is something that I should probably explore. So that's how that went. Now I haven't told them at home that I have messed up. So
and your mom who works so hard doesn't even know
Yes.
Okay.
So now I'm still there. My fellows resume fourth year. They do the fourth year. Me now, I'm still in the party scene. Now fourth year comes to an end, and now we are at that point where we are supposed to graduate. And of course, I'm not in the graduation list because I do not have my credits.
And still mom doesn't know
Now at this point it has to come out.
They think you're still there.
Yes, now this is now when it's coming out now that I can't graduate. Then they asked me, what's up? Why can't you graduate? I told them the school lost my credits and I haven't done my 4th year. Okay. Now we are getting into 2019. Now we are in 2019.
2019.
So now, end of 2019, COVID hits. Now at that point, I was actually away from Nairobi. I was still in that environment. So now the lockdown found me not at home. And then now remember, this mother has been the serial, has been the one who
breadwinner looking after you.
Yes. Also she's grounded in the house. So now I really had a hard time over there. I'm still struggling with my drug use at the same time. So I was over there.
And your mom, who supports you, could now no longer send you money.
Yeah, she can't, because also she herself is not in a good financial state. So now it comes now that after COVID, I have to come back home, but I don't have my marks. My mom is frustrated because she's really worked hard. She's put me through school. I've messed up literally in the last bit.
Was that your rock bottom?
Not yet, apparently. How God works.
So what happened? How did you reach?
How did I reach my rock bottom? Now this whole stint, it really left me with a lot of shame and guilt, which now propagated my drug use cycle. So I even sunk in deeper into the addiction now, because now I can say that I'd been struggling with it, but now I got into the addiction level. Now I now got into the whole cycle. My mom goes to work, me, I'm left at home, hanging out now with bad friends. We are consuming drugs throughout the day. At the evening, she comes home, she finds I haven't even helped out with the chores. I've been out getting drunk or getting high. And it's really...
And where were you getting the money? Because I'm sure your mom was not giving you money at this time.
Of course. But that's the irony of life, that misery loves company.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I had a hard time getting access to the drugs as much as I didn't have the money.
So it's funny that in this drug addiction issue, there are some people who are so friendly, they are ready to give it to you free.
Yes.
But if you ask for something else like bread or milk,
or a
you
job,
would have
or
to
even
pay
a job or money.
Yeah. And there are people who...
That's how it works. That's why I said misery loves company.
Misery loves company.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So now it got to a point now my mom retired from the job she was working. And now, also because of my unmanageability, it came to a point now she told me I'll have to go try and fend for myself outside in the world, so that I can get a sense of reality. Because still at this point, I kind of, my touch with reality is still kind of, is tenuous at best.
By then, did she know that you are abusing drugs?
Of course, by now it has come out.
It came out?
Yes, of course it has to come out. There are some levels that it cannot be hidden.
So what did you do then?
So now getting into life struggling now is now when I hit my rock bottom. Because now the struggle out there was super tough. I did not have any skill sets or certificates. I do have a skill set, that is computers, but I do not have any certificates or any papers that I can back up with, that I can look for a job. So now I got into looking for jobs. Now that life really led me into hard places.
Okay, we'll have a short break. Let's have a short break now as you tell us about this rock bottom that you went through.
Okay.
See you.
Mickey make yo
Auntie Maggie.
Tung turu tung tuturu tung 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 tuturu tutu. Na scroll maisha kama timeline, kila mtu anaonekana fine, tabasamu fake kwa highlight, lakini hakuna onyesha fight. Usiku nimechoka kupitia njia ile ile kaya.
Welcome back. So, Alexander, you are talking of rock bottom. Mom does not have a job. She's already got wind. She knows that you're abusing substances.
Yes.
She tells you to go out and fend for yourself.
Yes. Now this leads me into probably now the hardest part that I have had to survive in, even besides now the drug use, because now the reality of life has caught up with me. This is someone who one way or another has always had a phone call that I could make, or a way that I could get myself out of the trouble that I've created. Now I'm not in that dynamic anymore. So it presents a whole set of new challenges, because this is someone who's in addiction, jobless, without papers to look for a job.
Yeah.
So it is quite a conundrum. So I go meet with real life. Now I did odd jobs here and there, surviving here and there. And I can say that it led me to some pretty dark places, because I've even survived in a shanty.
In a shanty?
Yes. It got that desperate, because now odd jobs, the thing about odd jobs, they are not reliable. Especially
give me an example of the odd jobs that
construction,
you are doing. Mjengo.
Yes.
You would carry those heavy bags of cement.
And this is someone who has gone to university.
Yes.
But at the same time, I did not have anyone that I could blame. And I thank God for that, because He has always given me a heart that I do not shift blame. When it is my responsibility to bear, I do know and I do bear.
Yes.
So I understood that one way or another, where I'd gotten myself in life was actually my responsibility.
Your responsibility.
Yes. I did not have anyone that I could blame. Everything that could have been provided for me had been provided. But
so
one way or another, yes.
What else?
Now I got into Mjengo, odd jobs. I even did a job I worked in a scrapyard. Yeah, and basically it was more or less Mjengo scrap work, because now I understood those jobs. Then I survived in that for a while. Then now comes I think it was 2023 July. In fact, it was July 2023. Now that is when, coincidentally, I wasn't feeling well. I just called home. I talked to my mom. You called
to your mom?
Yes. Because we used to talk, even through all this struggle, we used to talk, but I knew that she did not have the capability to provide for me, because also now she's not working the job she was before. Also she has her own struggles, even financially. So now I just talked to her. I was like, hey, how are you? We haven't talked in a minute. Me, I'm good, surviving. Can't say I'm not doing swimmingly well, but I'm surviving. Then she was like, your grandma had asked about you. She's around. Why don't I?
Because her grandma had left the grandfather.
Yes.
They had been separate.
They hadn't.
I mean, your grandmother.
She had gone to work abroad.
Abroad? Ah, yes. I see.
Now she had come back
from
at
abroad.
This point.
Yes.
Then she's like, where's Alex? Then now, this is now when I'm talking to my mom. She's like, even your grandmother was asking about you. She was wondering if she could see you. Then I was like, yeah. So we organized that. We went to visit my grandma, me, my mom. We went to my grandma's place. Now when I went over there, I was in a bad shape, because I even had some dents. Then I think at that point they realized this guy is.
You were not looking well, I wasn't because well. Just that kind of
life struggle,
no job, struggling.
Yes. And then addiction still is a part of this.
Yeah.
So they were like, hey, this guy, we can't let him go back there, because now this is like this is giving him away. Yes. Now they took me. So now we stayed a bit. They took you where? No, now I'd gone to visit my grandmother. Okay, you stayed there. Yes. So I stayed there. I didn't go back where I was staying. So we had a conversation a few weeks later, after maybe I'd eaten and gained a bit of weight. They were like, okay, what are you gonna do? Because you do know your computers, but you don't have any form of certification, and you need a form of continuity of life. Now that you've been through what you've been through, life has to go on, whatever the case. So now the option came that I could go back to school. So they were like, what can you do? I told them computers. I'm good with computers, always have been. Why not that? So now I went and took a diploma in computer science. So your grandma now supported that? Yes, my grandma supported that. Now I went and took a diploma in computer science. Now getting back to school, now I'm like almost 10 years older than these kids.
Yeah.
But at the same time, life has humbled me that I do realize this is a chance.
It's a chance to change your life.
Yeah, so there's this struggle with the addiction on one side, and then on the other side, there's this guy who's really, I'm really thirsty for these papers
Thirsty
and
for
for
the
a chance
certificate.
even to kind of redeem myself.
Yeah, redeem yourself.
So now I went into that full board. Like I said before, I'm good with books, but now the addiction had me struggling there for a bit. But that God is graceful that I saw it through and I even finished the diploma while still struggling.
You must be very, very smart because you are in addiction still and
Yeah.
yet you finished.
Yeah, it's God's grace. I can't.
That is 2023.
Now this is now culminating to 2025. Now I finished. Yeah, I finished last year. So now I'm finishing school.
And you, yes?
With guys who are 10 years younger than I am.
Mm.
So I actually got a job immediately.
Hey, you're blessed.
I tell you, God works in mysterious ways. And I think
and
even
Alexander,
perhaps,
you are still abusing the drugs.
I'm still abusing the drugs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got the job. I was actually good at my job. But now the struggle with the drugs was what was bringing a lot of inconsistencies. Because I'll come in late. I'll come in with breath.
What effect does the alcohol and drugs do in someone with a job? I think for the sake of those who are
no problem. I think there's a lot of inconsistency and lack of reliability.
So you're inconsistent.
Yes. You can't be relied upon because you could fail at any critical moment. When you're needed, you're not there, or your performance levels are not up to par when they need to be up to par. And then also there's just the image itself, because addiction has an image that it puts on you, even physically. When
and
someone
another
looks
time
at you,
can just look at you. Somebody just looks at you. This one, Nimlevi or something.
This one struggles with addiction. So even that was not a good picture, especially I'm working in an institution where there are young people working in and around the institution. So it was not a good look at all. And then now, at the same time, even my personal life is affected because I have money, which
now
I have not had.
Money.
I have my own money that I can abuse drugs with. So it really pushed me into a corner in such a way that even eventually it culminated now to a point where management were like, hey, you guys, you have to do something. You are brilliant, your work is good, but we can't work this way.
Yeah.
So what do you suggest? A recovery program through a rehab.
Who suggested that, you or
it had
your
been
boss?
Recommended because I had gotten in touch with a support
group,
a recovery support group. Now when I had gotten a chance with the recovery support group, our school's counselor was part of that group. Now he wrote stipulations that for me to adhere to.
Yeah.
Now this was on a warning basis before now it got to now this headway. That now it had been suggested if I'm not able to attend support meetings regularly and kind of maybe toe the company line,
yes,
I will have to figure out now to go into a rehabilitation program, which now we have gotten to headway, so I do have to go into it. So even as I go into this program,
you are admitted now into a rehab.
I was admitted into a rehab. Yes, at this point,
and that's with the support of your boss.
Yes, I can say, like you said, I am blessed.
God blessed. Works. You have a star on your head.
God works.
Yes.
God works.
You got the job very quickly. You went back for diploma, and now the boss is the one who's taking you for rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now with the boss and his guys, they organized for me. I went into a rehab program, and I can say for a fact now that was my turning point, because now when I went into rehab, I was a bit apprehensive, but I had realized that something has to change in my life. So now that was the grace that I'd realized something does have to change. But now I did not know what to expect from this stay at the rehab center. So I went in with an open mind and I just listened. These guys, I met guys who have had drug problems like some who have even gone through much suffering than even I have. And I just came and understood that this thing, there's no going around it. I actually do have to deal with this addiction. I was at now that crossroads. Yes.
So how did you benefit? What are the key things that helped you at the rehab?
The rehab stay, I can say, was very impactful for me because especially now I think now that's because there's usually this misconception that someone goes to rehab, they might not get the help that they need.
Yeah.
It actually needs someone to be open-minded. Because
To
I
be
just went there with that
open-minded.
open mind
Yeah.
and willing to stay there. That was all I had while I was going into the gate. But now when I got there, I got to understand something. I got information that, especially now, the information part was huge because I even understood addiction is actually not just addiction, it's substance use disorder.
Yeah.
I came to understand the stages of it. And then at the same time, it gave me a chance to isolate from the world, to kind of reacquaint myself with myself. And at the same time, to kind of get a perspective without having to deal with the pressures of life. So I can say that stay in the rehab was huge.
It was really helpful.
It was huge. It was a turning point for me.
And how many times you go for rehab?
I just went that once.
Wow, because I've heard of people going 3, 4. I know people who have gone 3, 4, 5 times. And some even with that, they're still...
I think now with the support program that I usually work, we usually have a phrase where we say that willingness goes a long way.
Willingness is very important, that for it to succeed, you need to be willing, right?
Yes.
You need to be open-minded.
Yes. So now I think that when I went with the open-mindedness and the willingness, I think even now the way the graces of God work.
Yes.
He met me where I was.
Who?
God met me where I was.
Amen.
By the fact that now I was at a point where I had nowhere else to turn. And I did understand that something has to change. And that internal work just started happening because I exposed myself to books and I understood how now my addiction had worked. And now, through that chance of introspecting, I came to understand even now the things that drove me to the alcoholism and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yes.
So in the next maybe 5 minutes, you can tell us the key points that you learned and picked to, and then where you are right now in your recovery journey.
Yeah.
And then we're going to give them also some key parting shots.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I've learned is that as much as it may look like, it is never the addict's choice. That is number one.
The addiction.
Addiction is not an addict's choice.
So addiction is not an addict's choice.
Because I've seen,
it's a disease. Yeah. Yes. That we have heard several times. People share.
And that's why it's called substance use disorder.
Yes.
And at the same time, you cannot forcefully treat someone of addiction.
Yeah, you need to be willing. Yes.
Yeah, they have to come to it themselves. And now coming back now to my side of identity, that identity is not something that you get out there. It's something that you cultivate within.
Yeah, because you didn't have an identity. You that was a factor that you felt. You had an identity, but there was a gap.
Yes,
right?
and in fact, that's the thing. It's not that I did not have an identity.
I actually
had an identity. It's just that I hadn't embraced my identity.
Yes.
And I hadn't gotten a chance of looking at myself from a point of abundance instead of a point of, why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel like as if I'm missing out? I've forgotten that phrase. FOMO, fear of missing out. I think I was a big victim of that. That I felt as if life was happening, but not with you.
Not with you. Not with me there.
I was missing life as it was happening. And now because of that actually ended up happening. Because of now that I'd isolated myself in my mind and alienated myself to the world, that I was looking at life as if it should come to my point of view, not the other way around. So I can say that identity is something that someone can cultivate within.
Yeah. But it depends on who is around you, right?
Environment,
who help you, the environment and the people.
Yes.
Yes.
Like personally,
and you didn't have...
Yes.
You had people, but there was still a gap.
Yes, and at the same time now my naivety versus now the people that were in my life,
Yeah.
and my stubbornness
Yes.
still playing into that
Your
into that
character.
into that side.
Stubbornness. Okay.
It all now culminated in me
Culminated in
not being open-minded enough to
Yeah.
listen.
Mm.
And now it brought about now that whole cascade of events and factors. But now, you know, what's the amazing thing, Aunt Maggie?
Mm.
I'm grateful for this time.
Amen.
I am
It has,
honestly grateful for this time.
that hardship has taken you somewhere, and it's bringing another character or another life. Another
You've said
discovery.
it. You've said it. You've
Discovery
said it
in
actually.
you.
That's actually it.
Yes.
Because now I'm discovering new parts to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm discovering that there are a lot of people out there that do need help. That they're not
Yes.
getting the kind of help they need.
Yes.
A listening ear.
Mm-hmm.
Someone to have these real conversations with.
Mm.
Someone who can, you know, the one thing that most people miss, they do not feel seen.
They don't?
They don't feel seen.
They don't feel
Seen.
seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone having a real
To
conversation
notice
with you,
you, a
just
genuine-
notice you. Are you okay? Like, for us men, we are like, you guy, feelings, what are you talking about feelings? But that's the thing, we feel all of them. We can't
And
just suppress.
Men are supposed to be strong. They're not
Yes.
supposed to express their feelings.
But at the same time, now,
according to
yeah.
the myth that people
Yes,
have.
but what I'm realizing, the strength actually comes from feeling it and processing it
Yeah.
and acting
Acting
appropriately after
That's a very
that
important point.
that whole cascade.
Very important.
You got the thought,
Mm-hmm.
which led you to a particular feeling,
Mm-hmm.
but now how you act is what determines everything.
True.
Because I think for a long time, I was my feelings. I did not have a separation between my thoughts and my feelings and my action. It was all one jumble.
One jumble.
Yes.
Okay, so that recovery, it's really helped you. But now what are you doing? Maybe the last 2 minutes now, just 2 minutes, give us a summary and then what parting shot will you
Now
have
I
for
can
people
say,
like you, and there are so many
yeah.
who have followed the kind of challenges, experienced the challenges you went through.
Yeah, now I can say that now I actually am full-time in recovery and professionally.
You've been dry for how long now?
I've been dry, in fact, I'll be 6 months exactly.
So you're a
1 week from
young
now.
person.
Yeah, I'm young in recovery.
Yeah, but that's that's a beginning. I
Yeah.
think that's good. 6 months.
I'm fine. Probably a week short. But I can say for me, especially the open mind, it's really opened up my mind in amazing ways.
Amen.
Because there's also a lot that I'm seeing. And then now, you see all of these lessons that I've been learning. It's like I got a one huge aha moment in life. Like now, all these lessons connected.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Connected.
all of it now, like right now, I did not even have the capability of maybe getting a psychological read of a room. It's not that I'm very observant, but I was very inside my own self.
Yeah.
That I could not objectively
Observe and perceive,
perceive a lot of
situations
things. But now I can see that even the things that I notice, I notice dynamics from very afar. And even besides that, now professionally, I can say I'm doing very well. I've now kind of fully dived in back into my IT profession.
Are you still working with the same employer?
I'm still working.
Are they happy with you?
God bless them.
Whoever they are, I hope they are watching. Thank you for supporting Alexander. And I hope most employers will give their clients a chance to recovery. I think you make sure he watches this podcast.
I will.
He's going to be encouraged, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm doing well professionally. And I even feel that I'm growing very well there. Because they have provided me with a chance to grow.
To grow.
And then also now I'm getting a new thing in my mind. I'm starting to think, I want to pursue the humanities. I want to help someone out there who's struggling.
Are you already helping people?
I am through now telling these stories because I've also gotten some forums. And I've also gotten some forum to talk to young people.
Okay.
Like young in their teens, high school age.
I've gotten that chance. By the way, if you don't mind?
I'm 32.
Oh, you're young.
Yeah.
I'm a millennial.
Yeah, I'm a millennial. So I've gotten a chance to talk with the young ones. And I feel especially now at that point is now when the identity factors usually come in.
So if anybody needs to call you to talk to
Yes.
their groups and
Yes.
they're out there,
Yes.
can they get in touch with you?
Yes, they can get in touch with me.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Are you affiliated to anybody, or right now you're still individually
I'm still
reaching
individual,
out? Yeah.
but I do have a page.
Mm-hmm.
It's called URL Recovery.
We're going to put it down.
URL
URL
Recovery.
Yes.
And then that is now in Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone can also reach me on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp.
Yes.
And you'll give us the WhatsApp number.
I'll give you the WhatsApp number.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So
Yes.
now you are happy. You're generally happy with the progress.
I can say that my life has never felt more fulfilling in this last 6 months.
Okay.
This
That
is
you're
the best
hanging
I've
on
ever.
to. You mentioned God as being
God has.
very crucial.
I can see His part, so I can only hang on.
You can
because
only
I'm also feeling that there's a lot that He's doing for me.
Yeah.
The level
Blessing.
of the level of relationships, the way now He's leading me back to meaningful relationships
Yes.
and all that. I'm eternally
People.
grateful. Yes.
We thank you so much, Alexander. I think it was a very, very encouraging
Thank you.
podcast discussion.
Thank you.
Please remember to watch part 1. That's where he started his story, so that you can appreciate this part 2, which is a continuity of part 1. And make sure you share, you watch, share, and subscribe. And then we meet again for another story. So thank you. Ciao.
Bye.